All right, we are here with clutch 2406. This is going to be out of order because these eggs look ready to go, and 2405, which were laid on the same day, do not. Gothmog, bred to summer. Gothmog is our fire clown. Het DG, Het Pied male. Summer is a Disco and Vanilla, so those are allelic, so every baby will have one or the other. And Enchi, and that's it. So we shouldn't be looking for any visual recessives or anything, just hopefully some neat Disco Infernos and Vanilla Creams.
Do we want to do a little sidebar about where the names came from?
Well, I suppose we can as we go. So Summer we picked up from Nice Balls at a local-ish reptile show. Gosh, 3 years ago, was it? Was it 2021 or 2022? Must have been 2021.
Probably.
Yeah, and she's a beast.
Now I want to go back and look at the photos
right,
to see.
It doesn't seem like it was over
when
3
they
years
were
ago. Maybe it
tagged.
was 2022. It was like February.
I was going to say, because Kid 2 was not that small.
Right.
I would believe that Kid 2,
Yeah.
And it was in the spring.
Anywho, with Summer having disco in her, we decided to look at disco music artists and went with Summer for Donna Summer. And Gothmog is actually named after one of the Balrogs from Lord of the Rings. So there's a little...
Because he's fire.
Because he's fire, yep. There's a little...
Peek into our labyrinthine brains.
Yeah. Little, vague trivia for you. Alright, so we have a girls against boys, and Ferb gets an egg race today. 7 eggs.
For first-time watchers, Ferb is the dog.
Ferb is the dog. So this was, I believe this was 7 eggs, 1 slug. First time mom, so pretty pleased with that. We will be genetic testing these for the Poshets, along with a whole bunch of other babies. Oh, I see a little snoot.
Little snoot.
Yeah, a little snoot. And obviously we've got Disco or Vanilla, and this one looks like it probably has Enchi as well. I don't think Fire. It doesn't look like one of the crazy ones. And I can't say for sure on Enchi. The way it's curled up, I am not getting a good look. Oh boy. That's a big one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that one is right out to both sides of the egg. We're going to try to get blood samples from these eggs for the testing, because the other 2 clutches that we'll be testing we already have the sheds from, and just for the sake of expediency and honestly the fact that it's kind of a pain trying to stay on top of getting each shed as quickly as possible. So we got another probably Disco or obviously Disco or Vanilla, and I don't know about Enchi on that one. Looks a little bandy, but not a lot, so probably not. Probably just a single gene. Hoping for some.
So would you be able to tell Fire at this point, though?
Well, yeah, so the Vanilla Creams and the Disco Infernos are very obvious when you get them. So if there's Fire in there, it'll
Okay.
show up. I would say almost always very obvious. And considering how reactive Gothmog's Fire seems to be, it seems to be a real high pattern. It really changes the pattern quite a bit in addition to...
So, I know you've talked before, in conversations that we've had about Gothmog's Fire being highly reactive. I mean, are there different strains of fire the way there are different strains of other stuff?
So I haven't seen anybody actually like breeding for lines of fire at this point, but there's definitely like Anji
Wait.
had a.
Press pause. Who's that?
Yep. So this is number 3, and again, I'm guessing probably.
Single gene.
Yeah, and I can't really see as far as Enchi goes, but there definitely seems to be fires that are more busy and grainy, and like Anji's was she almost looked like she was an Enchi. Hers was so banded, and it looks like that tends to be passed down as well, but I haven't seen anybody breeding for any particular type of fire. So, yeah, we're not doing great on the genes here so far.
Not so much.
Which, I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm primarily interested in getting, vanilla and disco and Enchi. Always want Enchi. And all of these will be het clowns, and then there'll be pos hets until we die. Here we go. There's a double. So this one's got fire, and I did some research, and it looks like there may be a tendency of a slight difference between the Disco Infernos and the Vanilla Creams, but it's not something that I think I could call. Certainly not in the egg. And no idea on Enchi on that one. Doesn't look it.
Okay.
That was a gooey egg. So yeah. And number 5.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeed. I'm a little tired.
Oh, indeed.
You hear the thump thump of kid feet.
And ooh, we got another one.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I can. The last one I couldn't see, but I can see that one from here.
That is very reduced pattern. Wow.
So do you think that might be Enchi?
I don't. Enchi just tends to make things a little more banded, and actually, I think it may tend to increase the contrast a little too. So, probably not. Probably that's, like I said, just how high reactive Gothmog's fire tends to be. But yeah, that's a very reduced one. I cut these eggs so clean. There's like only one where I even see a tiny bit of blood. So I think the only way to do it. Oh, this one's fighting me. The only way to do it is to like go in with tiny scissors and nick some of those blood vessels to get a blood sample from, which, I mean, it's not going to hurt them, but it seems kind of silly to do since I go through such trouble to. All right. Okay, so this will be just another Disco Vanilla. I'd say probably not Enchi because it doesn't look bandy at all. We've got a pretty good dorsal stripe on it.
Well, that means in the family race, the two teams are pretty much even, unless number 1 does turn out to be Enchi.
Yeah, and Enchi hopefully will become a lot more obvious once they start coming out.
There. So let's see what the dog got.
Let's see what the dog got. He didn't do great in his last race.
No.
I mean, I think he got a Firefly Het Clown double pos het. Goopy. Oh. You got a good one this time.
Yeah.
Yep. Another very reduced pattern.
So definitely fire.
Yep.
Maybe we all tied.
Cool. Maybe. All right. Well, that's it for this one. The next clutch is the really exciting import, but doesn't seem terribly close to being ready. Maybe Tuesday.
I was gonna say,
maybe
see,
Wednesday.
you say that, and then watch them like pip
Right.
tomorrow morning.
I know. Oh, that last clutch, I was like, nah, they're not going to go for a couple more days. The next morning, we had a pipper.
Yep.
All right, yeah, keep an eye on Instagram for updates on this clutch. Looks like there's some pretty neat ones considering the jeans we have. It's not a big, fancy, exciting clutch.
Not a barn burner.
No. And we'll see you
I
guys for
mentioned
the
I'm
next
tired,
one.
right?
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.